Welcome back, dudes. Hope everybody is doing well. Once again, it's been a minute since I've streamed, been busy doing other stuff. As a lot of you guys know, started work on instrument training, so we're actually going to do a little bit of practice today. Different area of the country, but it's kind of the same sort of flights that I've been doing in real life. We're currently in Santa Fe, and we're going to go to Grants Milan Municipal, which is about 95 miles to the west, southwest. And there's two RNAV approaches, and we're going to do the whole procedure, I guess, sans air traffic control, kind of the way that we would do it in real life, just to get some practice, hand flying and multitasking and doing all that kind of crap. As you can see, we still got the static objects on the airplane. I haven't done anything. Hopefully the sound is still good from last time. So we'll get in here, take the static objects off, hop in the airplane, close the door, one of these, hello, there you go. Latch that guy, and up top, start by firing up, double check the parking brake is on, it is. Props, full fine, mixture rich. Battery. Go ahead and turn the alternator on, fuel pump. Get those guys going, beacon on. Crack the throttle. And see if it starts. Would probably help if we turn the fuel tank to the on position. There we go. Now we're getting some fuel pressure. One more time. Start. Mags on both. Go and pull our mixture back. Fuel pump off. Fuel pressure is staying green. Oil pressure is good. Oil temperature is coming up. Got the alternator on already, so you can go ahead and turn this guy on. And altitude reporting on the transponder. First, we'll go ahead and get our ATIS. Use the in-game ATIS for this one, so it actually tells us a departing runway. Let's see, ATIS Santa Fe 128.55. Doesn't work. Let's see what it is in game. Sometimes it's really good with using Sky Vector. Sometimes the frequencies and everything work. Santa Fe ATIS 128.55. Oh, maybe I gotta turn some comm stuff. Comm 1, comm 2 is on. Volume is up. Comm 1 is selected. Why am I not hearing anything? Try comm 2, 128.55.
Santa Fe Muni Information Mic. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature -7, dew point -12. Altimeter 3010. Arriving runways 02, 33, 28, departing runways 02, 33, 28. Advise on initial contact, you have Mike.
Information Mike. Thanks for nothing. What is up, Glitch Gaming? How you doing? Departing runways are 02, 33, and 28. We're going to take 02. That's going to be a short taxi for us. Altimeter 3010. And on the standby, 3010. See if the other frequencies work. So ground, no clearance deliveries. We go over to ground 121.7.
Rouge 1804,
There we go.
Tower 1835.
Doing well, man. Thank you.
35, Rouge 1804.
So call them and say Santa Fe ground, Aero 287, Mike Charlie, IFR to Grants Milan Municipal. And then, so the acronym that we're using to read reread the information is CRAFS. C is for clearance restriction, which is basically where you're cleared to. It's usually your end airport. R is routing. A is your altitudes, and let's see, F frequency, and then transponder. So they would probably say Aero 287 Mike Charlie, cleared to Grants Milan Municipal Airport via radar vectors, then as filed. Altitude climb 9,000, expect 12,010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is probably going to be 124.325. Squawk 4270. How about that? 4270, altitude reporting, and then a readback. Alright, cleared Grants Milan as via radar vectors, then as filed. Climb, maintain 9,000, expect 2,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.325, squawk 4270. 7 Mike Charlie. Readback correct, advise when ready to taxi. Switch it over, let's keep it on ground actually. 128.55, and then get tower on standby. 119.5. So now we got our clearance, and before we taxi, we're gonna go get our flight plan in here, clear all this crap out.
Tower 1835.
1835,
Pop this up actually. And this surprisingly works a lot like it does in real life. If you can do this in X-Plane, then you can do this in real life. So flight plan, menu, get out of here, delete flight plan, thank you. So from Santa Fe, we're gonna go to Hegme. Keeper of Scams, how are you doing, buddy? From Hegme to, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, or one of you guys wants to give it a go. It is Zulu, India, Alpha, son of a bitch,
Kind of 691, Tango off Lima, call the ramp 2207.
Zulu, India, Alpha, Sierra, Echo. Then Pedra. Would help if you complained? Yeah. If it would help you, if you feel better, yeah, why don't you get it off your chest.
Kind of 691, Tango off Lima, call the ramp 2207.
Kind of 691, goodie.
Pedra, US Southeast, and one more, Cobzo. Charlie. Alpha, Bravo. Zulu, Oscar.
Grounding, Jet 782, Echo Alpha.
Jet 782.
And then our arrival airport is
Whiskey, turn left and echo, hold
Kilo Golf, November Tango. I'm doing pretty well.
On Echo, shoulder
A
Sierra,
little stormy day, stuck inside, so get a little instrument practice while we're here. Kilo Golf, November Tango. And switch to GPS mode, so gonna be radar vectors and then to direct to Hegme. So we'll climb runway heading, which is gonna be
Grounding, Jet
206 degrees.
Jet 782, ground runway 23, altimeter 3019, it is Whiskey, turn left and echo, hold short Sierra.
Left on Echo, shoulder Sierra, Jet 782.
That's good for now. Alright, flight plan's in. I think we're ready to go.
Ground, good morning, Maple 7646, information Victor, coming up short, Delta Tango.
Maple 7646, ground runway 24 right, altimeter 3019, it is Whiskey, taxi off the ramp and hold short Charlie.
Alright, call ground back. Ground Aero 287 Mike Charlie, ready to taxi. The information hotel, I think that's what they said. Oh, dude, the weather's crazy here on the East Coast. It's like a huge storm system that's pushing through for the next couple of days. They're probably not going to be flying in real life for a minute. And usually after those, like once the weather clears, it'll be like a nice sunny day, but the wind's going to be gusting like 30 knots. So ain't nobody flying in that. Did I see Midway? No, maybe. A taxi via Alpha.
Ground, good morning, Maple 7646, information Victor, coming up short.
Don't think there's a run. Oh, there is a run-up area. We'll do a little run-up over there.
Ground runway 24 right, altimeter 3019, it is Whiskey, taxi off the ramp and hold short Charlie.
Taxi off the ramp, hold short, Charlie. Will
Why am I not moving? Ooh, that external sound a little loud.
Encore 3460, turn left on Charlie for 24 right, altimeter 3019, it's Whiskey.
We've got Whiskey, left turn Charlie, Encore 3460.
There we go.
Encore 3460.
Encore 3460, turn left on Charlie for 24 right, altimeter 3019, it's Whiskey.
We've got Whiskey, left turn Charlie, Encore 3460.
Still a tad loud. Was it a movie? I mean, I'm familiar with the Battle of Midway, but I don't remember seeing a movie or TV show about it or anything.
20 is Whiskey, taxi left, Bravo Charlie.
Taxi left, Bravo Charlie for Rouge 1620.
Battle of Midway is a pretty interesting story in and of itself. Like the U.S. carrier fleet kind of accidentally stumbled on the Japanese one, and if it hadn't been that, they found them and they got there when they had all their planes on deck rearming. Nice.
April 7732 at Delta Romeo, call the ramp 2207.
Any movie that has tons of flying in it, I'll be all about it. Here's our run-up area, I guess. If I remember correctly, too, this airport has kind of some Cronenberg runways because of the ortho, so might be a bumpy takeoff.
April 7732 at Delta Romeo, call the ramp 2207.
2207 at Delta Romeo, Maple 7732.
Speed 27 ground taxi, Delta Echo, Short Echo Alpha.
Delta Echo, Short Echo Alpha, jet speed 27.
Hold it here, park and brake on, verified. Let's do flight controls. Full left. Full right.
Speed 27 ground
Oh
taxi,
shit.
Delta Echo,
Controls,
Short Echo Alpha.
free incorrect.
Delta Echo,
Flight
Short Echo
instruments,
Alpha,
magnetic
jet speed
compass,
27.
no cracks, no bubbles. We'll go ahead and line up our directional gyro. Is at 30 degrees? 300. Take your time, buddy. There we go. Just press D. Altimeter is set within 75 feet of field elevation. CDI is set for runway heading. Attitude indicator is lined up. Airspeed indicator is reading 0. Vertical speed reading 0. Turn coordinator wings level ball centered. Double check our parking brake is set. Start bringing this guy up. Mixture rich.
460, change the tower, 1835.
Fuel pump on.
1835 on
Switch
3460.
tanks. Oh shit. Don't turn it off. Got 2,000 RPM.
Encore 3460, change the tower, 1835.
That'll
1835 on
do.
3460.
2,000 RPM. Mag check left. And right. Both. Oh shit. There we go. Engine instruments. RPM 2,000 stable. Fuel pressure is good. Oil pressure is in the green. Oil pressure is green, and oil temperature is where it should be. Suction a little bit under 5. We are within range. And failures are turned off, so it should not be an issue. Where's the carb heat in here? Over here. Alt Air.
Ground
The
to
Warrior
19,
carb heat
Canada,
is right there. Where's
114,
carb heat?
approaching
Do we have carb heat? I don't think we do, because it's
1134
turbo.
ground 24 right,
No carb heat.
3020, the ATIS now is Whiskey, taxi Bravo,
Bring
Charlie.
that back down.
3020, taxi Bravo, Trinity,
We're going to go switch to tower, and our departure frequency was 124,325.
Push 371, exit Hotel 2, contact ground 12165.
Only it doesn't, I mean, I guess they're advertising that it's coming with a 747. How is the GA2? Is it like, what did you say, that study level? Go ahead and turn our landing light on. Fuel pumps on, mixture is rich. Let's go. Park and brake off. I forgot to look at trim. Where's my trim at? Trim? Trim? I guess this guy a little bit aft of neutral. Take two.
Good evening, Jazz 989, QX final 24 left.
Jazz 989, target day 737 rolling out, wind 330.
Usually, when I bring if I'm taxiing or I have to wait or something for takeoff, I bring the mixture back a little bit, but I keep my hand on it because I know I will fucking forget to re-rich it before I take off. So in flight plan, we're going to get this here because they're going to probably give us direct to something after takeoff. Just get set up there. Santa Fe Tower, Aero 287, Mike Charlie, holding short 20 at Alpha, ready for departure. See, fly runway heading, clear for takeoff, runway 20, 287, Mike Charlie. Clear for takeoff, fly runway heading, 7, Mike Charlie. See ya! And already forgot the mixture, get that back rich.
Westjet 1118, contact departure 128.
Westjet 1118.
20 on the pavement, I got the right runway. Line it up, and just keep it rolling. Get a little look down here at the manifold pressure. Ooh, too much.
Canada 466, wind 330, 13, gust 19 on clear takeoff, over
60 miles an hour. Tap the brakes. Gear coming up. Aero 287 Mike Charlie over to departure 24.325. 24.325. I've done it too. Santa Fe departure. Aero 287 Mike Charlie at 6,700 climbing 9,000. Say clear 9,000 direct Hegme. So we're gonna go direct to enter. That's 239 degrees. Start turning immediately, and I'll work on this shit over here. Standard rate turns, boys. 239. Oh boy. Two, 239. There we go. So for us, I think VY is 85. It's miles an hour, so probably about 80 knots, which is where we're at. But we got a little bit more power in this thing. Jeez. Yeah, there was an AirMet Tango, so it can be a little bumpy.
Okay, we'll clear 2 leg at 270. Expect
I'm gonna turn the sound down a little bit too. I don't know how it is for you guys.
Action on 724, contact Taiwan 2787.
2787 is on the post in full time.
Okay. Bring the RPMs back a little bit. Took off from Santa Fe and we're going to Grants Milan Municipal, which is about 92 miles away. Because this is turbo, the higher that we go, the more power we can use. This is going to be annoying as fuck, hand flying this with this turbulence. I should have thought about this.
Victor Papa, Victor, what altitude were you looking for? I can't remember. I'd like 5,500. Victor Papa, Victor 5,000 feet approved for now. Yeah, 5,000.
There's 9,000. Oh, buddy.
And Bravo, Victor, Juliet, 4,000 feet, the affirmative.
What is the wind noise, for fuck's sake? Jesus Christ. No, you, bye. Still there, Jesus. Environmental, maybe? Nope, you, but.
Victor,
There we go.
Papa, Victor, request higher withdrawal on that 119er decimal 77. 119er decimal 77.
It's actually, like, probably easier in real life, I think, to control precisely this altitude. I busted that by 200 feet. Still on course, though. Yeah, it's gonna be fun doing all this by hand, because especially when you got to reach over and like manipulate stuff in the cockpit using your left hand with the mouse. It's a pain in the dick. All right, so they said expect 2,000 10 minutes after departure, so I'm gonna go ahead and start climbing for 12.
138, contact tower 182.
So it'll be our cruise altitude. That's true, that's true. If you do, go see a doctor. Start leaning the mixture a bit too. We'll keep it in that green arc there. This is what it was like the other day when I flew, and I forgot we were flying VFR. But we were sort of simulating an instrument flight, and I wasn't thinking, and I didn't put anything in the GPS before takeoff, so immediately my instructor's like giving me headings, altitudes, frequencies, and of course I am flying in turbulence like this, trying to put shit in the GPS, holding an altitude, holding a heading. Afterwards I was like, I need a drink. Santa Fe Municipal, yeah, to Grants Milan Municipal, and I am not using a yoke, I'm using a joystick. Alright, we're coming up. So down here it's going to give us a time. It's going to give you a countdown, 10 seconds, on when to turn. I'm going to look at this real quick if I can click it. So the next heading is going to be 259. So I want to go ahead and put that in here to, if I can, 24, 25. Come on, baby. 259, that'll work. 500 to go.
2103, contact the center on 135.62.
3562,
We're coming up on the turns. You see right down there it's saying 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start that turn. Standard rate turn. 200 feet to go. Going to 260 direct track. Desired track. There's 12,000 feet. We'll level off here. To Grants Milan Municipal, Kilo November Golf Tango. Alright, so we're at altitude. We'll bring back our prop condition. 2,000 RPMs. The manifold pressure is good. And the mixture is actually pretty good where it's at as well. Did you hear the IKO for the arrival airport? Kilo Golf November Tango. Yeah, you got it. So we're right on the CDI, and I think you're allowed up to half deflection either way before air traffic control would say something, and then probably also 100 feet plus or minus on your altitude. So we're at 11,950, I mean. There we go. See how the weather is? Jesus, freaking turbulence. I'm gonna turn off our fuel pump. Not you. Well, you too. Landing line off and fuel pump off. Busted our altitude again. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Fucking A. I'm going to try to put the autopilot on here so I can do other stuff in the cockpit, if I remember how to do it. Autopilot on, heading, get that on. And actually switch it over to nav. So there's no, you have to manually trim in your altitude, so it's still going to be a pain in the ass in that regard, but it should keep lateral navigation. So switch this to nav. That's rolling. Trying to watch the altitude. There we go. We're on course. It's staying roughly at 12,000. It is hectic, yeah. What I'm going to do for info page here for Grants at Milan, our altitude's coming back up. You bitch. Alright, AWAS 118.3. Put that on COM 2. COM 2 is on. So pick that up when we get close enough. Altitude being an absolute bitch. Oh my god.
35,
Alright, calm down. Look at these massive updrafts. And now it's kind of holding altitude. Oh, no, you're going back up. Take that back. Also, the VSI works in the game instantaneously. It's not like that in real life. Generally, you watch the altimeter much more than the VSI, because there's about a 6 to 9 second lag on those instruments. So like right now, you can see it just went down to 1,000. You wouldn't see that before the altimeter started moving, so that's not quite realistic. All the way, look, minus 1,500 before the altimeter even started to respond. That's not how it works. This is kind of annoying. Usually, even with pretty solid turbulence, you wouldn't see that, like, you wouldn't see a vertical speed like that going up to 1,500.
Thank you.
What happened? Wind? Maybe low-level wind shear?
Unit at 938, contact center 12787.
Look at that, 1,500. Yeah, it's just up and down. 1,500, plus 1,500, minus 1,500, plus 700. Minus 700. Minus 1,000. Minus 1,200. That's bullshit. Minus 1,500. Get the fuck out of here. 5 minutes, we're going to switch the fuel tanks. So basically babysitting the altitude here with the, even though we have autopilot on, the plane doesn't have a vertical control. You have to trim in the altitude, so I'm using the stick up and down. I'm just letting the lateral navigation do its thing. Look at that thing bouncing around. Why did you crash? Did you figure it out? If you got low-level wind shear, when you rotate, keep it low, keep it in ground effect until you're probably about 10 knots over your normal climb speed, and then start to climb. That way if you get like even a minus 10 knot wind shear, you're still going to be able to keep climbing.
Philippine 119 Heavy, Sun, good evening, climb level 360. Good evening, Maple 7559.
What are you flying, the Cessna?
Maple 7559, Sun Information Tango.
Well, like I said, there is an AirMet Tango, low level. Actually, what is a Tango update? Turbulence, strong winds, valid until 2100 Zulu.
Philippine 119, climb level 340.
Between flight level 180 and 380, so it really shouldn't be that bad down here. Gay. But there are pretty strong winds, I guess. I don't really do very significant flight planning for these kind of flights. Let's have a look at see what the weather is doing in our destination. Kilo Golf, remember Tango. Winds 300 at 6. Which is 200 below our altitude. And we've got a RNAV 31, so that's probably going to be us, assuming the weather is still the same when we get there. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And while we're en route, we can go ahead and brief our approach. I'm actually going to pull this up on a new page. Actually, I'm going to pull it up here. The plane's basically flying itself. Pull it up so you guys can see it as well. If we crash, my bad. Alright, here you go, guys. So here's our approach plate for the RNAV 30. Wait a second to load it because we haven't really gotten a clearance there. We're just proceeding as filed right now. But we're coming from the northwest, so what we'll probably do is Cardi and then intercept here at Wilcar. So first double check the dates valid, so we're good until January 30th, 2020, so we're good. Approach course is 312 degrees. Runway landing 7,172 feet of length. Touchdown zone elevation 6,522 and the airport elevation 6,537. I got the AWAS there. We already got that in COM 2, and Unicom is going to be 122.8. No alternative minimums there. So it's going to be at or above 10,000 until Wokar. And then after Wokar, we're going to start descending at Sinon. It's going to be at or above 9,700, and then the final approach fix, Maltese Cross at 9,000. Minimums are 7,100, so the LNAV minimum descent altitude 7,100. If we don't have a visual, then it would be a missed approach, which is going to be climb to 11,000, direct Zuros. Left turn via 302 track to Emuxi and hold over here. Oh shit. What the fuck are you doing, airplane? That's basically good enough for you guys. Close that up. So we're basically going to be with these guys, Albuquerque approach, until we get handed off to the CTAF. So the RNAV approaches are long enough that you're not supposed to monitor and be in contact with the CTAF at 10 miles. So let's see what our final approach. 3, 6. Yeah, Wilcar it's going to be like 9 or 10 miles. So once we intercept the RNAV, then we'll switch over to CTAF.
Good evening, American. 42 Heavy Buckle 350.
And we'll go ahead and switch our fuel tanks as well. Fuel pump on. Right tank. Don't turn it off. Fuel pump off. Fuel pressure stable. Well, not really. I was briefing the approach plate because we got time and cruise to do that, and the plane was relatively stable at that time. So we did our approach briefing, and we'll put the minimums here. So if our minimums are 7,100, I can't actually do that. It'd be 600 feet AGL. We'll do this 671. So I remember. Come on, altitude. If you had a passenger, they would probably be getting sick today.
Center, good evening, American 858 Heavy, flight level 201, 330,
Takeoff 858 Heavy, tonight, good evening, climb level 330, good right.
Alright, after Cobzo, it's going to be 232 degrees.
flight level 330, heading 582.
So again, we're expecting, let me switch it to 232. The RNAV 31, and probably by this time, Center would have told you what runway they're using based on weather, and whether you could expect that approach. So we're going to go procedures, select approach, RNAV 31. And it would be via vectors, since we're getting in by them. So we're going to go here, load it. We're not going to activate it yet until after Cobzo.
United 152, tonight, good morning. Good right.
That's it. Good evening,
I just took zero. I just 04, making level 350.
Wonder what you did. I'm going to go back to hand flying this, because this is pretty annoying. Autopilot off. 12,500. Definitely we've got a little call from air traffic control on that one. Get on back down there now, boy. And usually what I'm doing during this part, if you look over on the GPS, you'll see the desired track on the left says 259. And I'm using the track on the right where it says 264. That's what you're actually doing right now. It's your ground track. Just trying to keep those close, making sure that the CDI deflection on instrument over here doesn't get too extreme. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
I 0604, contact center 12787.
Alright, getting ready to make that turn. I think it was what? 231 degrees or something like that. 2 and 1. Standard rate, left turn. Stepping on the ball. Going to 233 degrees. Dropping about 300 feet. And we'll roll it out.
Cruise 1930 heavy, Sunny, good morning. Proceed with Alpha, climb level 330.
330, direct phone number, 1930.
Pretty good headwind too. So what, I mean, now I can basically follow the magenta line using these two, the desired track and your actual track. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to our approach course, because as soon as we get close, we're going to start to get that CDI deflection for vertical nav as well. So that's 3, 1, 2 degrees. See if I can do this. One hand, 3, 1, 2. Turn, you bitch.
472 when ready, descends to level 240.
When ready, send a bus 240.
3, 1, 2, right about there.
Azure 856, contact center 12072. From the 072, I say,
And they're going to hand you off to CTAF. So 122.
Maple 7562, Sunny, climb level 350.
Dude, alright, let's do this. There we go, 22.8.
Back transit 340 heavy, Sunny, climb level 370. Level 370, Takeoff 340, thank you. Quebec 92 Whiskey Heavy, Sun, roger.
Come on, you bitch. This is getting kind of annoying.
You get a 587 heavy, Sunny, good morning.
Yeah, with all this bouncing around too, your directional gyro would probably be pretty askew by this point. Fortunately, in the game, we can just hit D to realign the directional gyro with your magnetic compass. Makes life a little easier.
Flight 772 when ready, descend to level 240.
Ready, correct, level 240, Takeoff 772 heavy.
Getting kind of a field from our magenta line there too. Trying to make small corrections too within 5 to 10 degrees. Same thing for your landing when you get the glide slope and everything. Let's do this. Procedure. Activate approach. It's going to be 206 degrees. We're going to leave the CDI where it's at because that's our approach course.
Flight 772 when ready, descend to level 240.
Ready, correct, level 240, Takeoff 772 heavy.
I'm trying to do standard rate turns, and a standard rate turn is like this first little line down here on your turn coordinator. So you want to do a standard rate turn, dip the wing until it's lined up with that next line.
Captain 89, transonic land level 280.
520, Captain 89.
Cadillac 772, contact Sunny 119 77.
1977, Starbuck 772, Unit 0, maintaining 36 now, descending 240.
Thank you.
We're obviously probably going to keep us at this altitude until we're past this mountain, and then it's going to be a descend and maintain 10,000 until you're established on the RNAV for 3-1. And then we're basically just going to be following the CDI, which is going to give you your vertical deflection and lateral. It is not a flight director, so you can't really treat it like that, which it's an awkward situation when if you have foggles on or you can't actually see out the window because you kind of want to fly it like a flight director, but you can't. It's advisory only. A little bit of practice, I guess you'd say.
No, I don't look like I'm changing anything. That being said, our weather radar isn't 5 here. You can deviate as required.
So if you're flying a PC-12, though, it's a lot faster. There's a lot more complex shit going on. All right, we're getting close to our approach, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready for landing here. Probably about, I guess I would say 15 miles out. So we're going to go landing light on, fuel pump on. Go ahead and switch the tanks. Make sure your fuel pressure is stable, and it is. BRB.
Good morning. 7062 level 410 there, Fox.
Ranger 7062 410 Center, good morning. It is information echo.
And because we're doing the RNAV, we're not going to have to switch the CDI source to VLOC, so you could leave that where it's at on GPS. That is, as my instructor calls it, the $600 button. So if you're doing an ILS and you forget to switch from GPS to VLOC, you failed your check ride and lost yourself $600. It is not, no. Burn it into your memory now. There'll probably be altitude at pilot's discretion, but at or above 10,000 until established. On the RNAV 31, we got about 14 miles to go.
Let me take a look at it. American 132, proceed for Longsea on course.
Thank you. Longsea on course. American 132.
Roll.
In 10 miles, we'll start descending.
Delta 994-350 Center, hello. And I check deviating left, Fox 18. Ranger 7062, descent level 280. Thank you, sir.
Should be able to see the airport here somewhere. I think that may be it. Alright, we're 10 miles, so we're going to start descending here. Maybe.
Ranger 7062, contact 132-157.
And start bringing our prop condition forward. It's going to help slow us down. Go ahead and enrich the mixture as well. Damn, what are you doing with that thing? You hit the button again?
JetBlue 878-350 Center, good morning.
Make sure we're not getting into the warning range there on the speed. $1,000 to go. So even though this angle is pretty steep, it should, when it gives us a countdown for the turn, that should give us an intercept roughly if we're doing a standard rate turn. We'll see how it works. At this point, clear the RNAV, maintain at or above 10,000 until established on the RNAV 31. over to our CTAF frequency, and then we'll give them a call when we're established. Fuck you, dude, switch it. There we go, 122.8. Oh, there's 10,000. I also want to start slowing down. I want to get flaps in before we make this turn as well.
Romeo Papa, good day, line up runway 23.
Line up 23, Lima, Romeo Papa.
Alright, double check. Fuel pumps are on. We just switched the tank. The landing lights are on. Mixture is rich. Props are full fine. At 10,000 feet, waiting for our turn. Never got the AWAS. Never picked that up. Not sure what's going on with the radios today. Alright, we're coming up on flaps range. Actually, wait a little while. We got 3 miles. Hopefully the wind is going to die down so we're not fighting this all the way to the ground.
Romeo Papa, departure 128.8 airborne, clear takeoff runway 23. Good day. Departure of 1, clear takeoff 23, Lima, Romeo Papa. Good day. Romeo Papa, departure 128.8 airborne, clear takeoff runway 23. Good day. Departure of 1, clear takeoff 23, Lima, Romeo Papa. Good day.
Alright, getting a turn ready to go. 7 seconds. And we're going to start a standard rate turn to the right. You can see the deflection there on the CDI.
Purdue 7379, clear land runway 24 right, 150, 10 gusting 50.
So approach desired track to be 322. Deflection's coming down. We can start descending as well. Oh baby, you'll be right on it. Just about.
Purdue 7379, clear land runway 24 right, 150, 10 gusting 50.
So 9,700 at C-Dan, or whatever the next one is. That's 1.9 miles. Kind of below that. So we'll hold it here. 323 degrees. And we can go ahead and get flaps 10. And we're a little bit above the glide slope, right on the path at this point. Making CTAF calls. Grand Milan Municipal Aero 287 Mike Charlie established on the RNAV runway 31, 7 miles, Grand Milan traffic. Again, we're following the flight direct. We're following it kind of like a flight director. I just want to keep both of those centered. A little bit to the left, of course.
7280, turn left heading 190 and clear takeoff runway 23.
Try to keep it around 90 knots. I think I'm going to beat you, man. So again, I'm at this point, I'm not even looking out the window. I'm looking at the CDI, following vertical and lateral path that we've got there.
7280, turn left heading 190 and clear takeoff runway 23.
Go and get the landing gear out. Keep descending until minimums, which are 7,100 feet. So 1,000 above. A little to the left, of course.
Very good. 4011. Air Canada 411, good day. Clear to land runway 24 right, wind 150, 10 gusting 50. Clear land 4 right, good. 435.26 today, loud runway 23.
Plan C3 Encore, 8526.
And we're going to go flaps 40. Sorry, flaps 25. A little high. Right on 90 knots, that's where we want to be.
Today, loud runway 23.
Plan C3 Encore, 8526.
300 to go. Hundred above. A little high. And here's our minimums. So minimums continue. I've got visual. I can see the poppies. Stable approach. Gear down. Flaps are set. Fuel mixture is rich. Props are full fine. Fuel pumps on. Landing lights on. Yeah, dude, at this altitude, we looking good. Looking real good. So now I'm not looking at the CDI anymore. We're below minimums. I've got visual with the runway. I'm watching the poppies. It's going to be a little floaty because we're going to be above our normal touchdown speed. We're following a 90, trying to follow 90 knots all the way down to the runway.
As that 325 today, 3.5 behind at 320, clear to land runway 24 right, wind 170, 10 gusting 50. Clear to land 4 right.
It feels like the wind's coming from the right, so we're going to kick in a little bit of right rudder. And left aileron. Sorry, right aileron, left rudder. Start bringing the power back. Round it out. Let her slow down. Keep bringing the nose up. Firm.
Please, 20 days, Georgia 72, you will see him.
Good day.
And getting on the toe brakes. Go ahead and lean our mixture.
72, you will see him.
Good day.
Start cleaning it up. Fuel pump off. I don't know what the arrow does. I mean, I guess allegedly this drops pretty good, but the wings are a lot longer on this than they are on the Cherokee stuff. Supposedly they're supposed to float a little bit. Get off of Alpha 4. Give him a little radio call. Grants Milan traffic. Arrow 287 Mike Charlie is clearly active. Grants Milan traffic. See ya.
And a 411, Charlie 4, Delta 4, ground 21.9, we'll see him. Charlie 4, Delta 4, Canada 411.
Alright, turn the landing line off. Oh, not you.
7262, the
Transponder on standby.
Turn 150, clear takeoff runway 23.
Clear takeoff runway 23 and 150 in the air, turn 7262.
180, 10 gusting 15, left turn 150, clear takeoff runway 23.
Clear takeoff, runway 23.
Next time, I'm going to choose somewhere we're actually in IMC. But again, I mean, I'm looking at these instruments most of the time, was barely looking out the window until we were past our minimums, just making sure that we were on the glide path and on approach course. It feels a little overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff going on. You don't have autopilot. But man, this is really good practice. It is, I mean, instrument flying in particular, it is, the GPS works exactly the same and everything in cockpit as well. If you could do it here, you could probably do it in real life. And I kind of feel like it's honestly a little bit easier in real life maintaining, once you're used to it, maintaining an altitude and a heading. You get a lot more tactile feedback, obviously. There is a freaking ramp up here, right? So where the fuck am I going? Oh my effing god.
There 996, good day, line up runway 23.
Line up runway 23, extend on 96.
We wrong way. Can I turn it around on a taxiway? Swinging around. Chill break.
Charlie 4, Delta 4, ground 21-9, good day.
Yeah, buddy. Next up, man, I'll do some, maybe some DME arcs or something like that. That's positive. What's the wind doing? Is it bouncing you around a lot?
Departure is 28.8, good day.
Departure 28.8, Georgia 7262.
This is the Piper Turbo Aero 3, and thank you for the follow.
7262, departure is 28.8, good day.
Watch a replay in just a second. Wasn't my finest landing, took out a little bit too much power in the round out, ended up setting it down pretty firm, but I've done worse. What are you flying, Keeper?
996, wind 200 at 10 knots. Contact departure 128.8 airborne, clear takeoff runway 23, good day.
Clear takeoff runway 23, airborne 128.8, extend on 96 today.
Alpha 4, that's where we got off the runway. Fuck that one up. The Cessna.
There 996, wind 200 at 10 knots. Contact departure 128.8 airborne, clear takeoff runway 23, good day.
Clear takeoff runway 23, airborne 128.8, extend on 96 today.
You're not allowed to take and share screenshots, are you? Curious how it compares scenery-wise.
Cat 507, good day, take your time for jet blast, line up runway 23.
Okay, take position 23, Air
Damn.
507.
Well, we made it. We didn't crash. Unlike somebody else I know. Actually, let's spin it around here. We'll park the other way. Looks like they got a tie down for us.
Cat 507, good day, take your time for jet blast, line up runway 23. Okay, take position 23, Air Canada 507.
I forgot to put our flaps up. The bar that you use to operate the flaps in this airplane is called a Johnson bar, which I personally find hilarious. Park and brake. Avionics off.
Tower Jazz 644, visual.
keep playing that.
Yeah,
Get that out of here,
644
boy.
land, runway 24 right,
Transponder is
heading
off.
active good, the wind's 170 at 50.
Do a live check.
Right, clear land 24 right, check March 644.
And we'll cut the mixture. Mags off. Alternator and battery off. We did it, boys. I actually like both, but I'm currently doing instrument training in real life, which is why I did this flight. I kind of fly a plane that's similar to this, and we just did an RNAV all by hand with manual old steam gauges. So watch a little replay action. See how bad this actually looks from outside. But the good thing about flying both is once you get tired of doing one, you can just hop in the other. Personally, recently I've been more on a helicopter kick than anything. I love those things. It's fucking fun to fly. Really high round down. That's probably part of our problem. Firm but fair. Would have been good if I flared a little bit more. That's pretty flat considering how. Let's watch that one more time. Get back out of here, boy. How about this one?
507, caution service to 777 off ahead, the wind's 170, 10 gusting 15, departure 128.8 airborne.
Eyes on the road, man.
Clear takeoff 23, Air Canada 507, so on.
Dude, you should. I did. I was a teacher for 10 years, and I decided to quit, take my savings, and then go to flight school. Just got my private license like a month ago, or well, actually like less than a month ago now, and started instrument training. And it's been like a dream come true. Even if you don't make it all the way to commercial, man, just having your pilot's license and being able to get that far is pretty awesome. It's one of those things when you're actually flying by yourself and you look out the window and you kind of feel thankful for where you're at. This is what happens when you don't follow your checklist too. You forget to put your flaps up. Where did we park this thing? Fast forward it. Also, Callum, do you have flight simulators? Do you play flight simulators or you just watch? Another really cool thing is there's like an airport that I fly to all the time in the simulator. I love it. Takeoff, Columbia, downtown. And I'm actually planning a real flight there probably sometime the weather's good next week or two. Super excited about that. If you've got a flight simulator, it has been such a huge benefit in flight training itself. Not having to learn everything from scratch. It's been pretty awesome. Everything's moved super fast, obviously. I got my private license in a little over 3 months, and I've got over 100 hours now. Look at that, baby. Tie it down. Still hear the autopilot disconnect alarm going off in the air. Bam. Turn off your battery, please. I am sick of that buzzing noise. Alright, dudes. Oh, there you go. Actually, Keeper, who's in here, is a public beta tester. Is that what? Or private beta tester? He's been actually flying the game. If you get a PC, it will be an incredible help to you if you do start flight training. Huge. Particularly, I mean, the feel of flying an airplane is a lot different. It took a little bit of getting used to, but for instrument training, knowing how to do all that stuff prior to starting has been pretty helpful. Because I think otherwise, I would have felt way in over my head. But it's not been too overwhelming, except for yesterday's flight. Alpha, there you go. Did you land? Tomorrow I'll definitely be back. I don't think I'm going to be able to fly tomorrow too, because weather is supposed to be shit again. And if it's not, it's going to be super windy because that front is coming through. And I haven't done a Failure Friday in 2 weeks. I haven't flown Tube Tuesday in 2 weeks. Maybe 3. So I don't know what I'm going to fly tomorrow. What should I fly tomorrow? I think the last thing I did was helicopters. Shuttle. Actually, someone recommended to do that. Let me take a look at that before. Can you do that? The flight re-entry thing? What? What? What is this? I fucked something up. Mamba Gator, you bitch. Crashed to desktop. Awesome. I do have a 777, but it's the shitty flight factor one, and it kind of blows. But I have some other airplanes. I might do a tube thing tomorrow. Turn that into like a failure day with a tube thing, because I haven't done it in a minute. Boys, Callum, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the follow. Mamba Gators, just in time to see me crash my plane, or my simulator in GTFO. Yeah, what is that? That's weird. Keeper, let me know how your flight goes. I'm going to look into the space shuttle thing. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. I love you. See you next time. Peace.